rumors are that Steven Spielberg wants to direct the new Indiana Jones movie, which will be starring Chris Pratt. And Brendan is a huge Indiana Jones-ophile.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Still am.
Can't deny it. He loves Indiana Jones. And I just really wanted to get your thoughts on this. Because Chris Pratt has shown that he does have those acting chops. He can go out there and he can do some pretty good roles. I mean, he's shown it in Guardians of the Galaxy. I bet you we're going to see it pretty good showing in the new Jurassic World movie. Are you excited to see a reboot or maybe a continuation? I don't know what they're going to do with it yet. But are you excited?
I'm a little bit concerned that Harrison Ford's not part of it. And here's why. A lot of the... I know, but it's maybe it's time to let it retire. I don't know. Someone's going to have to surprise me a lot. Skull.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't belong in Crystal
here's
Skull.
the thing. I'm someone that actually liked Crystal Skull.
All right, get off the show.
I did.
Get off.
I didn't have the problem.
Kicking you off.
I knew something about the
show.
Crystal Skull idea beforehand, so I was expecting this whole alien thing and everything like that.
Well, I knew that too. That wasn't the thing. It just wasn't very well executed, and I don't really like Shia LaBeouf. Not a big fan.
I'm not saying it wasn't my favorite Indiana Jones movie or anything. But it's actually not my least favorite. I ranked it number 3. And I like all the Indiana Jones.
All right, you don't like Temple of Doom, but Temple of Doom I think was way better than this one.
Well, in any case, the fact that Harrison Ford's not on this new movie, that concerns me because some of the most iconic scenes from all of Indiana Jones are improvs from Harrison Ford. And I've said, I have a theory, and I've told people this theory many times before. George Lucas can make good movies only when Harrison Ford is involved. Because Harrison Ford will take whatever, he'll improv, he'll take like some crappy screenplay, like, no, this is crap, and he'll do the character better than George Lucas wrote it, and for some reason it all turns out gold, and the rest of the movie turns out gold, and hey, we get the Star Wars, the original Star Wars trilogy, we get all the Indiana Jones movies, we get American Graffiti, and great movies from George Lucas. The movies that George Lucas isn't in, name a good one.
But I think
name a good one that George Lucas was involved in that wasn't that Harrison Ford.
I can't name any other ones that George Lucas was involved in. But
the prequel trilogies,
no.
Red Tails. I didn't see that one even, but I heard bad things.
But think about this. Chris Pratt is an actor who's got a little more clout than Harrison Ford did at the start of like the Star Wars ones. But he's an actor who can probably do some pretty decent improv. He's more of a comedic actor brought into this role, and he's shown that he can do some of the action stuff. Now, some of the comedy parts,
it is a little bit funny, but you do want to definitely have that action. Like, he is more of a... Indiana Jones is that the smart, tough guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Chris Pratt can play that role. That is Chris Pratt's role. That is what he's done. That was Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. That's gonna be whatever his character is in the new Jurassic World movie. That is Chris Pratt to a T. So I think that they're at least casting the right person, and I think they need to distance themselves from Harrison Ford, just because you're never going to get another good movie with 70, 80-year-old Harrison Ford playing Indiana Jones. I'm sorry. We just need to reboot it. We need to get some fresh blood in there. And you know what I'd like to see? Him still fight Nazis, but not a reboot of the series, because they talked a lot about in the Crystal Skull how he had a lot of adventures during the war, World War II. I'd like to see some of that.
And during the over the course of the Cold War, like they were fighting communists at various other points and things like that.
Well,
because it's been years.
Crystal Skull took place in the 50s though.
Yeah, and they've been fighting late 50s, early 60s, something like that. But they were fighting. They already talked about they had been fighting the Cold War for a while. The Cold War starts like immediately after World War II ends, essentially.
That's true. So, I mean, but I could see them doing something, turn the Russians bad guys, maybe remnants of the Nazis, the occult Nazis that were going after the last Ark and the Holy Grail, or the Lost Ark and the Holy Grail. I would like to see something along those lines, and I think Chris Pratt could do it well. You don't
I guess let's see, I haven't seen a whole lot with Chris Pratt, honestly. Like, there's been some big movies with him.
He's usually bit parts in romantic comedies until, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, so... That's why I say he's got the comedic chops. I just think, and he showed he can do the action.
It's going to be really hard to fill Harrison Ford's shoes.
Well, of course.
He was a great actor, but also he fit those roles just spectacularly. Han Solo,
And
he was great as Han Solo. Indiana Jones, amazing as Indiana Jones. It's going to be difficult to convince a lot of people, including myself, that anyone else can really do Indiana Jones.
all right, well, hey,
And
let's throw it out
really,
to the listeners
do
out
we
there.
even need
What do
it?
you guys think? Is Chris Pratt going to do all right as Indiana Jones, or
Do we
should they
need
bring
another
Harrison
Indiana
Ford
Jones?
back somehow?
Or should we leave it at what's been done? Do we need another one? That's a
No,
big one on my mind
leave
too.
it, dude. That's not a good question because they want money. They're not going
I
to
know.
leave it.
And to be
There's
fair,
nothing sacred in movies, especially with
now
Steel.
that I'm recalling, even though they originally set it up as they did the trilogy and kind of left it at that for a long time and whatnot, apparently Indiana Jones started as George Lucas's version of James Bond. That was his idea because what was it? Steven Spielberg mentioned to him something like, I always wanted to direct a James Bond movie, which would have been awesome. Think about it. Steven Spielberg directing James Bond. Why didn't that happen?
Cool. I like that.
But George Lucas said, "No, forget about that. I got a better character for you. I got this other guy who's better along those lines." And that was Indiana Jones. And
So it was meant to be a
money,
long-running thing where you can have multiple characters. So I will ask the question again: are you excited about the new Indiana Jones film? Do you think Chris Pratt will do well, or that it won't succeed without Harrison Ford? Hit us up. Let us know. Comments down below. Of course, @What'sMyFace on Twitter, Google Plus, and Facebook. Always good ways of getting a hold of us.